how do our beliefs impact our life, personally and professionally?
It's at its fundamental, it's what drives you.
The power of belief. I think we underestimate what our beliefs can, I guess, create for us in our life and what they can deter us from having as well.
I remember waking up every day and not wanting to go to work, not wanting to go. And I just kept saying to myself, tomorrow will be better. Okay, 2 months will be better. 3 months it'll be better. Don't give up. Like, keep going, keep going. It's going to get better. Nothing's going to stop you. I had that unwavering belief that it was going to get better. And you know what?
Welcome back to another episode of $1 Million Days. My name's Robby Choucair.
And I am George Passas.
At what point do you think we have to stop introducing ourselves?
I'm genuinely thinking about this.
Yeah, it's a real question.
When we walk down the street,
People are like, Robby, George.
And people are like that.
So never.
I know someone that's like that at the moment. I won't say he's a friend, I say he's an acquaintance.
Yeah.
But I was speaking with him the other day, and I won't name drop because that's not what I'm about. But I was speaking with him the other day, and he's at that point where he cannot walk down the street anymore. And people not stop him.
Wow, that's pretty...
Yeah, it's not like if he went overseas.
Do I know?
It's no, you probably you will 100%. You know him. Everyone knows this guy, and you don't know him personally. You haven't met him yet, but you will. I'll even try to get him on the podcast. Actually,
Yeah, cool.
I'll try to get him on. But I was speaking with him the other day, and he goes, "It's not. It depends where he goes as well, like certain areas, and if you Jerried?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, you've Jerried. If you think you know, you know.
Did you see the coin drop and my face expression?
Yes, yeah. That's it. So I was speaking with him the other day, and I actually asked him. I said, "Man, are you like people go? Well, they'll see you now." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "It's worse in certain areas."
Makes sense.
And he goes, "But most people now will look at me and go, 'Hey, what's happening?' Or come up to me and take it from there." I said, "Oh, that's cool." So I think when we get to that stage,
Does he?
you could probably almost stop introducing yourself.
Does he like it?
Yeah,
does it
it's
annoy
the
you?
life they chose at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, like you gotta think like
Maybe to a degree, you never knew what extent it would get to when you got into the public eye. Do you know what I mean? Your fame and all that sort of stuff. Jim Carrey famously said, "Everyone should be rich and famous one day so they can understand that it's not all it's cracked out to be."
Yeah. He's a very smart man, Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I really like him, man. I love Jim Carrey from all his movies. Like a lot of the stuff that I've seen is all from my childhood, and I think he's a phenomenal actor as well. But yeah, very smart in that regard.
He can put it on.
Yeah,
Like he's
very talented. He's got
act,
talent. Yes.
Like act to another level. Like most actors can't do that. They put on a character, but they can't act like something completely different to what they are. He can. He can be serious, funny, a dick.
Yeah.
And fit all
Everything in
perfectly.
between.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right,
Very cool, man. Very cool. But yeah, I think, look, again, I put up a post actually the other day and I said why so many people are failing at social media.
Yeah, that was a great post, man.
Did you like it?
Yeah,
Thanks,
I
man.
watched the whole thing. I was like, that's
cheers.
good, but I might write this down, read it out.
Do you know when I did
block
it?
George and
Read it word for word.
I was like, yeah.
Do you know why I did? Well, I did it after the video you asked me to shoot for you for our upcoming event. And I thought, well, fuck, the camera's out. May as well do a quick video. So I did it then. And it was off the cusp. That's the beauty about social media. Like you can just create something at any time. You don't need special cameras. You don't need the amazing lighting. Your hair doesn't have to be perfect. People focus too much on that shit. And that's why they don't create. They get in their own way.
Yeah, I agree with you. And speaking about things being off the cuff, this is off the cuff.
Completely not the topic we were going to discuss today.
This is off. No, as in I was talking about the podcast in general.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there is little to no preparation.
Did you not get the show notes for today?
No, I didn't. Don't read my emails.
I'm sure I emailed it through to you.
Yeah, you don't read your emails.
Emails, guys, listen to this. Emails are other people's agenda for your life.
It's very true.
Whenever I see an email, I'm like, fuck you. You want me to do shit for you? That's what it is. Think about it. Every email you send is to someone to do something for you. Every email you receive is someone asking you to do something for them. It's not, when was the last email you got that said, hey man, hope you're well? You know what I mean?
They all start off with, I start off all my emails with hope you well.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yeah.
No further content.
Well, you don't.
Just, hey, hope you well. Just touch base.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Just put it, it's like putting a bow tie on like a gift wrap on something that you want to give them. You put the gift wrap on so
That's
that
it.
it starts off well.
But I'm just saying starts and finishes there.
Yeah.
No one does that.
No.
And every email sent has an intention. Hey, can you do this? Hey, see this.
Imagine I just sent you an email with no intention. You'd be like, why are you sending me dumb emails?
I would question our friendship.
Block your email.
That's it.
Well, that went sideways.
Did, but I love it. That's why.
All right. Topic for the day.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk today. We've touched on this a little bit in previous episodes. So we've, from time to time, whether it was just me or you or whether we had a guest on as well, we touched on the power of belief.
And outside of that, private conversations with other people as well, not just in front of a mic.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's something that people truly underestimate. And I want to delve a little bit deeper into it today. What do you reckon?
Absolutely.
The power of belief. I think we underestimate what our beliefs can, I guess, create for us in our life and what they can deter us from having as well. You know, because we only think that if we believe we can, that we will, but we don't think about the beliefs we have about the negative effect of something and how much that can deter something away.
Yeah.
You spoke about wealth psychology previously, and how people have bad beliefs around money and how it impacts their ability to be able to get money. That person commenting on the TikTok post was a perfect example. You guys need to stop spreading this shit. $1 million is a lot of money. I said, it's all relative. $1 million is not a lot of money for a billionaire.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
You could say $100 now. Like say, change that conversation, change that sentence, right? We say $100.
Yeah.
$100 isn't a lot of money.
But if you're living in a third world country,
$100 or living on the street,
yeah,
$100 is a shitload of money. That can make a difference. That can change things about you, your perception, your meal for that night, where you're going to sleep. Like it's a lot of money. So it's all relative. That's for sure.
So how do our beliefs impact our life personally and professionally?
I reckon it's at its fundamental, it's what drives you.
100%.
Yeah.
What
At
is
its fundamental.
What is a belief?
I would say it's a strong connection to something that you have bought into. From a mental, it's like from a conscious level.
So something
and subconscious.
Something you have bought into.
Yeah, bought into, not necessarily with money.
Yeah,
just say you've
like,
bought into it.
Bought
I'm trying not to use the word belief.
Yeah. So is a belief true? Does a belief have to be true?
No.
Doesn't have to be true.
Do you believe in Santa?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
But my kids do.
Yeah. But it's true to them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So it's not, but the actual belief itself isn't true.
So if a belief is actually true, is it still a belief?
Well, we spoke a little bit about this with self-awareness last episode as well.
Did we?
Yeah, about self-awareness as in if you believe you're going to play in the NBA.
Oh, that'll impact the outcome.
Yeah.
100%. But if you believe something to be true, is it still a belief or does it become a fact? Or is a fact a belief? Can a belief be a fact?
It can be.
Is it no longer a belief then?
If it's
factual. Because you can't deny a fact.
Well, we said that. Yes, we actually discussed that in a few episodes ago when we were talking about, you said to me you believe that, we were talking about the me and when I sign a contract, I say I'm behind the 8 ball. And you said that's your belief.
Yeah, but that wasn't necessarily true.
Correct. Yeah, that's right. But then there was also other things that I was saying, no, that's factual. So I would say they're different. I would say there's other elements that were affecting what I was saying.
Yeah.
And I'll say no, but those are factual. So yes, I would say that beliefs and facts are different.
So if you believe something and it turns out to be true, like I believe the sky is blue, the sky is blue.
Yep.
Is that now a belief or a fact? Or is it both? Or can it only be one? How's that for wordplay?
Yeah, fuck no.
I'll tell you why.
Does it come down to the interpretation of
No,
blue?
because I think that's perception. That's perspective.
That's right.
Whereas some things are facts.
Because then say someone that's colorblind,
Yeah.
they can't, the sky isn't blue.
It is to them.
No, well, what's blue to them? They've never seen blue before.
But hold on. How do you know what you're seeing is blue and what I'm seeing is blue
Yeah,
is
that's
the same
right.
colour?
Yeah.
You don't. because
right.
you see that and you're like, that's blue. And you're like, okay, cool. You learn that what you see there is blue. So therefore, whatever people call blue will be blue to you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the sky is blue. That's a fact.
Yes.
If it becomes a fact, is it no longer a belief? Because certain things you can't deny.
Yeah.
They're facts. They're
That's
real.
right.
Yeah. Is a belief only and I heard this somewhere, I can't remember where, but someone said a belief is a poor substitution for a fact. You know, because the things we believe are true to us, but they're not necessarily facts. Because once something's a fact, it's a fact. It's not a belief.
That's it. It can't be changed. Or that's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah,
That's what it is.
That's the real. You know what I mean? Whereas when it's a belief, it's true to you, but it's because you believe it. Your beliefs are true.
Yep.
Beliefs are yours.
That's right.
Don't know where I was going with that.
I think it's great. I think it's really on the definition of the word belief as well, and getting some understanding behind it too. For people I think that's helpful for people too. And it makes you think, well, do I believe this or is it factual?
Yeah, and one of my favourite things is, one of my favourite quotes is, we question all of our beliefs except for the ones we actually believe in.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, you don't question the things you're taught from a young age. You never questioned if you were behind the 8 ball prior to that conversation anyway. You always thought, no, yeah, I am behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
Because that was your belief.
That's
Because
right.
you really believed it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, fuck, now we're on the back, like we're on the back foot now. We're constantly chasing the target, and, you know, we're trying to get up because you believed that you were one down.
Yeah.
When the same situation could happen to someone else and they could have a completely different belief around it.
So then what about the concept of love?
Yeah.
Is that a belief or is it a fact? You can't really, how do you distinguish that?
When you say love.
So I love my wife. I love my kids. Is that a fact?
You determine that based on... So is it not a fact because you can't see it?
Yeah, this is what I'm asking.
Hey?
For
You
me,
can't see
there's
Wi-Fi.
no question of it.
You can't see Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Can't see $1 million in front of me either right now.
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah, but it exists.
Bring in the bags.
That's it. No. Exactly. I don't want to get it out of the safe.
But there's usually something that gives away something that's true, isn't there? Like your computer signal shows you if there's Wi-Fi. Your actions will show you if you love your wife.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So there's usually some sort of tell
Yes.
with that. So whether it's a belief or a fact is whether it's true or not. Or whether it's true or just true to you.
Yeah.
You know? A fact is something that can't be argued.
Hmm.
Is that a good definition for a fact? I don't know.
I think so.
That's off the cuff.
I think so.
But yeah, I don't know. Can people argue that? Probably they can. So I'd say it's a belief.
So how do you go about establishing beliefs or getting the right beliefs?
It depends on what you want,
Okay.
right? If I want to go to war, me having a belief that the world is a happy place is not going to serve that. Yeah.
Or that those people you're going to war with
are nice
good people.
Yeah, that's not going to serve that thing. If I want to live in it's a great...
So your goals could almost affect your beliefs.
100%. Here's a good one. When we were talking with Josh and Cam,
Yep.
shout out Josh and Cam, we spoke about cancer and it being a $1 trillion industry. And I can't remember who said it, but someone said something along the lines of 100% they have the cure and they're not releasing it because it's a $1 trillion industry.
I think I said that.
Yeah, and I said, I refuse to believe that.
Yeah.
And you said, you genuinely believe they can't work it out. And I said, whether they can or can't, you having that belief doesn't serve you in any way at all.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because it doesn't impact your actions. And the reason we have belief is it's going to impact what we do next.
Yep.
Yeah. And you thinking that it does, or you thinking that, because you don't want to be delusional. You don't want
course
to
not.
believe in things that are not true, because that's going to impact your next action. But regarding that particular topic, whether it does or doesn't, whether they do or don't, it's not going to impact your actions moving forward. It's only going to impact how you feel, which might then have a negative effect on your actions because you're going to feel worse, but you're not actually going to change what you do. You're just going to do it half-heartedly. Yeah, and I refuse to believe, and I could be delusional, but I refuse to believe that we live in a world where people genuinely can cure a disease and are choosing not to. Because what does having that, whether they are or aren't, put that aside, what does having that belief do for me?
Oh, it doesn't benefit you in any way whatsoever.
There is no upside.
It's a negative connotation. It's a negative connotation.
Sometimes if someone is a bad person, it's good to know that person's a bad person because it's going to impact your actions around trusting them, right? But this particular topic, that particular statement, there is no benefit to believing it.
Yeah.
None. Zero. Can you give me one?
No, nothing.
Yeah. There is absolutely no benefit to believing it at all. And we're probably never going to be able to prove it.
Yeah. But that mindset is relevant to almost to very many negative beliefs.
It's not.
No, what you just said now.
Yeah, it's not. It's not relevant to many negative beliefs.
Why?
Like what? Give me another one.
Oh, I don't know, if something off the top of my head. Say,
it's got to be a global belief.
All women are bad drivers.
That's a fact.
Yes, and on that note, I hope you enjoyed this episode, Robby.
And we're banned.
That's it, and we're done.
That's it. No, that's a joke. But most women are. They're not bad drivers. They just can't reverse park. That's the going joke, isn't it?
I don't know. Well, my wife's the rims on my wife's car probably tell that tale more than anything.
That's what I'm saying.
Or the gutter rash on them.
You can usually tell.
Shout out to
the
Nicole.
wheels, and you're like, woman driver. That's a joke.
But I'm just trying to think of, okay, that belief. How does that belief serve me? So every time I see a woman next to me, I'm going to pull over just to make sure she goes past, so it doesn't crash into me and we explode in a ball of fire.
Yeah.
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 I'm just saying. I've just gave you a random thing. But
having
that was my
belief,
genuine belief.
Yeah, having
that doesn't
belief,
serve me.
So
like
first
having that
of all,
same concept.
You can't say all because that's generalizing. But if you were to say most,
yeah,
this is going to be funny. So if you say most women are not good drivers, yeah. What are your actions based on that? You might not let your missus drive when she's tired.
Yeah, maybe I just don't let her drive at all. Maybe you buy a brand new car and you're like, oi, not for you.
Yeah, but no, you don't.
Sit in the back. Give me a 5-star review.
If you genuinely thought she was that bad of a driver that she would put your family in danger.
Yeah, of course. But that's not we're talking about the topic. It's not about the topic. You were just saying that the belief of me saying, like, if I refuse to believe that all women drivers are bad, like, it's not serving.
You can't say all.
So whatever.
All is a generalization.
But it was the same as it's the same example as what we spoke about now with the cancer. The cure. I believe there's a cure to cancer. They're not giving it. But you refuse to believe that because you don't. It doesn't serve you in any way.
Yeah, no, but there is
How does it serve you if you believe that women drivers are bad?
Yeah, you might be able to protect your family, or you might make a different decision if the person across the other side of the road going into the same.
But realistically, most women, like, you could say this about anything and anyone. You could say Asian drivers can't drive.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a fact.
We're just dropping fact bombs everywhere.
Fact, no, but it might impact a decision you make. Yeah. So you might choose to not hop in the car with the woman driver who's tired or drunk. Or
what if she's an Asian woman?
Yeah, then definitely. Two wrongs make a right.
Racist and
two wrongs make a right.
Yeah, that's all right.
Woman,
yeah, that's it. So you're sweet.
Yeah, so if I cancel each other.
Rally driver. Too good. It's too much fun.
No, but do you get what I'm saying? Like, that might impact a decision, an action that you take.
Yeah.
True?
Yeah.
The cancer belief won't. What action would you then not take that previously you would have?
Okay.
Nothing.
You could say, no, you could.
What?
I could give you an example with that.
Yeah, go.
So if you genuinely, and this has happened, and I'd love to actually get him on the show one day. He actually called me today, funny enough. So one of my dad's friends, many years ago, actually, 10 years ago. Yeah, 10 years ago. Fucking hell, time goes quick. I remember because it was at the time I was getting married and I went to his house and I dropped off a wedding invitation. 10 years ago, he was diagnosed with a terminal illness, cancer. It was like stage 4. He was fucked. And they go, look, we can only give you months. They put him on a bout of chemo, radiation, everything. And he started to get really sick, losing his hair, throwing up, lost a whole bunch of weight. And he thought, fuck this. And funny enough, he went camping, like you mentioned a little while ago, when you clear your head, you go camping.
Yeah.
He went camping one night and he's like, fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore. No more chemo, no more radiation. If I'm going to go out my own way.
Happy.
And that's it. I'm not going to go out poison. He didn't want to poison his body. He didn't see the logic in poisoning himself to get better, to prolong his life in pain for another month or another 2 months. He goes, if it's going to be 3, like, what's the difference? If I've got 3 months or I've got 5 months?
Yeah, better off having 3.
That's right, 3 quality ones as opposed to 5 shit ones where you're in pain and you can't, and you're a vegetable in your bed. So he made that decision. During that time, he went and saw a doctor who focused a lot on natural remedies.
Yeah.
And getting better through using natural foods, processes, everything. And he went on this, like, completely changed his diet, was eating a whole bunch of superfoods, was literally doing everything that this doctor told him. Now, this doctor, I can't remember his name, but he is like in the top 10 smartest people in the world. Now, when you speak to this guy, he's a real conspiracy theorist. Like, he believes that this exact thing, this belief that you're saying, and arguably I probably got that belief from him because he was probably the first one that really opened my eyes to it because he did a lot of research on it. Anyway, he made that decision to go, well, I'm going to stop modern medicine and what everyone's telling me to go and do all these treatments and whatnot. I'm going to try what this guy's saying. I've got nothing to lose. I'm going to be dead in 3 months anyway. 10 years later, the bloke's still around. He took everything. Amazing. It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
But he also reckons, and it comes down to another topic which we should talk about one day, was stress. He reckons the stress is what made him sick in the first place. Why he got sick, why he got in that position, because he was just overwhelmed. He was smoking every day. He was eating shit food. Like, he wasn't looking after his body in any way whatsoever. A whole combination of things. And then he changed his life around, went down this path and took on a different route. Now, his beliefs changed that.
An experience will change your belief.
Yeah. Yeah, 100% it will. 100%.
Yeah.
And it can be real instant with something like that. But
well, your belief changes in a second, right?
Yeah.
Like, something happens and then all of a sudden you're like, you can start to doubt a belief over
Yeah.
a longer period of time.
Yeah.
So I think, is this really right? But the change happens like that.
yeah.
You know, and that's obviously what happened for him.
Yeah, it was. Absolutely it was. But he had that belief of the industry was like that medical industry, $1 trillion industry, all corrupt, everything there.
So believing that big pharma is not right, that's a different belief to they have this cure for this thing and they're not giving it to us.
Yeah, potentially, but I mean, they can go. So his logic behind it was because if they do, like, there's the trillion, they're making money every time there's a chemo
Money's
patient.
not even
every
real,
time,
man.
I know, but that's the purpose of why they're not giving it up, because they're making all that money from that's a $1 trillion industry.
So this is supposedly a whole government thing.
Right? I don't even know. Yeah,
But if it is,
let's assume
like, these
so.
people print money.
Yeah.
Why do they need to keep people sick?
No, it's
Like,
private
it's
business, isn't it?
Is it?
Pharma? Yeah, absolutely. Corporations.
Everything is technically owned by someone.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right. But to go back onto that topic, believing big pharma is evil or that they don't have your best interests at heart is not a bad belief if you choose to believe it, because when I say it's not a bad belief, believe whatever you want, but it will impact your decisions, just like it did for him. So he started to believe that big pharma was bad, and he went and decided to go down a health route and started eating superfoods and so forth. Yeah. And that impacted his life. That's a good decision because it impacted his actions. It's a good belief to have. But the belief of they have this cure and they're not giving it to us, what does that do? It does nothing for anyone. Either you want to believe that, either commit your whole life to working out what it is and resolving it, or don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you just sitting there saying, yeah, they do, yeah, they have that. It's like having, they got the cure, yeah, they won't give it to us. What are you going to do? Nothing. I'm just going to sit here and be sad. What the fuck's the point?
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. It's like, what's the point of you believing that then?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of things like that, though, that you can use that mentality. I'm agreeing with what you're saying. There's a lot of some of these beliefs. What advantage is it to you to believe that? So there's a lot of things that I'm applying that same logic to. Like I was saying with the women drivers. Right? Do you genuinely care about that when you get in the car? It's not something I think about. Do you know what I mean?
No, not at all.
That's what I'm. And I would say most people on the planet wouldn't be thinking that.
That would be so funny though. It'd
be so funny.
You order an Uber.
Sorry, Jessica.
That was
Jessica. You see the name's Jessica. Cancel.
But yeah,
straight up. Jessica. No, we don't do Jessicas.
that is so funny.
Have you ever had a female Uber driver? I don't think I actually have.
Not one that I got in the car with. No, I'm just
Don't even know that joke went over my head as well.
Yeah,
Cool.
throwing bombs all over this episode. We're gonna get blocked.
That's all right. It'll be worth it.
It'll be worth it. Yeah, but I can't think of anything else.
Yeah,
the
I'm not
top
off a specific topic right now, but I think from what you're saying though,
You need
there's
to
there's a lot of things that won't serve you to believe in. There's a lot of things. There has to be.
Dude, you are better off in a thing you can't control. You are in one that you have no control over. Let me make this super clear. When I say zero control, I mean zero. You choose to go to work. You choose to do you choose to be in this country.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things some things you can't control. Yeah. Like that example that we gave, you cannot control the outcome there.
Yeah.
And in a situation where you can't control the action or the result, it is sometimes better to be positive and be wrong than to be negative and be right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
concur.
And a lot of people have the belief of, I'd rather believe that it isn't, just so that when it does, if it ever does come out, I can be like,
told you so.
yeah, see, I told you so. And you're like, dude, you've been living up 30 your whole life to live like, to have that one belief, which is probably never going to come out anyway. That makes no sense. You know what I mean? But we don't question how well the beliefs we have are serving us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is all awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where did you get that belief from?
Which one?
No, not
Oh, just a rhetorical question? I'm just so into the conversation. You got me hooked.
We don't question where we got our beliefs from.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I look at difficult times in my life, and one of the things that gets me through it is that unwavering belief that it won't stop me. So I think beliefs can be used as a really powerful tool.
Yes.
Really powerful tool.
It's an extremely powerful tool.
Yeah.
And you can either use it or it'll use you.
100%. So I keep mentioning this because it's probably the most relevant thing for me. And it was during the COVID years. I woke up. I remember waking up every day and not wanting to go to work. Not wanting to go. Like dreading the fucking phone calls because I knew they were coming. Dreading the clients, the pays, the everything. People chasing you for money. You paying more money than you're getting in. Everything. And I just kept saying to myself, tomorrow will be better. Okay, 2 months will be better. 3 months it'll be better. Don't give up. Like keep going, keep going. It's going to get better. Nothing's going to stop you. I had that unwavering belief that it was going to get better. And you know what?
It did.
It did get better. It was bad. It was bad. Like I was never at the point of committing harm to myself or anyone else or breaking down or depression or anything like that. And it's another thing. You said it the other day. It's like depression. And this is a sensitive topic for a lot of people, and I don't mean to say this in a negative way or upset anyone or anything like that, but it's like if you don't believe depression exists or being depressed exists, how could you ever be depressed? It's not something within your realm of understanding.
That's the power of belief.
Yeah, exactly right.
If you don't believe that aliens can come and get you, you're never going to freak out about something dropping out from the sky.
Yeah. Someone we know, Craig, I was speaking to him a few weeks ago, just off topic and about life, about stuff, and he was saying that we're talking about depression, funny enough, and he goes, I go, what's your thoughts on medication for depression? And he goes, it's a Band-Aid. He goes, you're not addressing the problem. He goes, all you're doing is putting a Band-Aid over it consistently all the time. Yeah. And there's people out there, some whom I know, are on medication for 10 years. Yeah. And they just take a pill every single day and it just changes the state of their mind, but it doesn't fix the core of the problem.
Yeah. If you get headaches every day, you can't just take Nurofen every day.
Yeah, it would be so bad. And I suffer from headaches and migraines. Dude,
it's the equivalent.
Yeah.
You've got something wrong. Your emotions are trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is something wrong somewhere.
Yep.
You're either unhappy with something, you have an expectation that isn't being met, you're not like you're sad about something. Like there is a reason why you feel that way. And it's your emotions are trying to send you a message, and you need to understand what that message is. If you constantly feel a certain way, just numbing it isn't the right solution.
Yeah.
If you constantly get a headache, it's like you've got a sore arm all the time. Like you don't just go chop your arm off. Like work out what's going on. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's cause and effect. Don't fix the effect. Fix what's causing it. It's like if you've got a roof that's leaking, and instead of fixing the leak, you
put a bucket
invest in buckets. And you're like, yeah, I bought these buckets because my roof's leaking. You're like, dude, fix the roof. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's a short-term solution, but it shouldn't be your long-term fix. And I think a lot of people end up doing that.
100%. So with your beliefs, do you, like there's negative beliefs and there's positive beliefs. Do you think they can both serve you?
Well, I think what is it that makes a belief positive and what is it that makes a belief negative?
Would it be one's interpretation of it? Is it going to be individual for every single person?
It's a good question. I would have said, well, no, because positive is positive. Yeah, and it's not like there's rarely.
So anyone listening to this, then, right? Whether they're in a difficult spot, whether they're not, is it as simple as saying, "Well, just think, just have a different belief, have a positive belief"?
No, but here's the thing: you need to believe the belief. You sit in there saying, "I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy," and you're not. Your brain's gonna say bullshit. Do you know what I mean? You need to actually genuinely believe the thing. I'm not.
So how do you get into that state of mind?
You need to question what you do believe.
So you got to question it.
When you start, beliefs come from
Okay,
what?
I'm sad.
Why?
All right. Yeah. So that's it. I say I'm not feeling right. I feel sad.
Yeah.
So why? So I'm in conversation with myself, not with someone else. All right. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm sad right now. Why am I sad?
I'm just going to, real quick, we're not psychologists or anything along those lines.
Disclaimer.
If you're feeling sad, go see someone.
Yeah.
Talk to someone. But yeah, if you need to question why you feel the way you feel. You know what I mean? Because feelings come from thoughts. And thoughts are just questions.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mind's a powerful thing.
Yeah, thoughts are just questions. It's either a question or an answer to a preconceived question.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to ask yourself questions to dig a little around what it is. You know, like, okay, cool, you feel sad, and why? And then start do a little digging around it. When was the last time you felt the opposite of this? What is the opposite of this?
Yeah, what's that look for?
Yeah. When can you recall feeling like that? What were you doing then? What were you focusing on?
Do more of that.
Yeah, do more of that. And then it's like it's all about controlling your focus. Because if you focus on dude, there is bad in the world.
100%.
There's so much good as
So
well.
much.
Do you know what I mean? And if you just focus on the bad, you'll be really sad. And if you just focus on the good, you'll be really happy.
Yep.
And it sounds overly simple.
Yeah.
And
It can be.
Yeah. Like, no, it genuinely is. You choose to focus just on... I don't watch the news. Do you watch the news?
No, fuck that shit.
I do not watch the news at all.
I watch it maybe sometimes for the weather. If I'm watching sport.
You don't do the, hey Siri, what's the weather today?
I do, yeah, I do. I do it more with the Google now because I got Google at the house. I got one of those.
Oh, you walk around talking to the house?
She talks to me. I talk to her.
Yeah.
It's a she.
Be nice, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. I do. I'll probably use that more often than not. But the only time I'll ever look at the news, is potentially if there's something about sport that I'm interested in. That's about it, really. I don't watch sport. I don't watch the news at all.
But if you
and I wouldn't want my kids watching it. It's all negative shit.
It is all negative.
Everything, because that's what sells.
That's what sells, 100%. And they've got a job to get viewers.
That's right.
And telling everyone that it's a sunny day today and it's a sunny day today and it's a sunny day today won't get viewers, but you tell them there's a storm coming and all of a sudden everyone's going to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Pay attention.
And it's like, and the current affair shows are very much the same too.
Dude,
I've always thought I've had the feeling that I'm going to be called up on one of those shows once, like a current affair. They're going to be outside my office knocking on my door. Hey, Mr. Passas, can you tell me why you think women drivers are bad? It's going to happen.
Yeah, you'd be like,
it's going to happen. It was Robby. It was Robby.
That is so...
Okay, but do you think my rims got fucking scratched by themselves? No, they didn't.
Yeah. Go speak to Nicole.
I always felt like it's going to happen one day, and I can't wait. I cannot wait.
You're excited for it.
Well, what else am I going to be? Why be upset?
You can be sad.
Why?
You can be freaking out.
Love it. Publicity.
No such thing as negative publicity, hey?
Yeah. Do you know what I would do? I would just make sure your mates, make sure Legacy Media is there filming it as well. So there'll be two versions of it. There'll be Tom's version and there'll be the current affair version as well. And
someone did that recently. They were getting interviewed.
Yeah, and they said they had their camera going the same thing, and just so you know, this is what they made it out to be. All women are bad drivers, and then it's like this is what I actually said.
Yeah, give them the complete version. It is. Well, I believe. I could be wrong.
Huh?
But I believed that I could be wrong about this, but I believe that the media, mainstream media, is fudged up. Like it is in the sense of they've manipulated the situation to look a particular way.
Sure.
Like they show you one side.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you probably saw that during COVID as well. Don't you think?
Yeah, but so many people still watch the news. That's what baffles me. Like I
reckon less people do. A lot of people still do, but I reckon less people would purely because...
Do you watch the news?
I don't watch the news, but I was going to ask, why do you think the negative beliefs are the ones that sell? Do people actively seek out these negative beliefs?
No, because you've got a 2 million year old brain that is designed not to make you happy, but to keep you alive.
Yeah.
But we stay alive by paying attention to what could kill us.
Yeah.
And when we know what's going to kill us, that's usually pretty negative, right? It's nothing positive is going to kill you. So when we're
path
looking
of least resistance.
Yeah, when we're looking out for what's going to kill us, it's focusing on the negative. We're designed to stay alive.
If you've got two paths, subconsciously, and one's on a slight incline, one's on a slight decline, they're both going to get you to the same location. You will subconsciously gravitate towards the path that's going down because your body, your mind, everything is there as a survival mechanism.
Yeah,
I need you to use as little energy as possible so that we have the ability to fight or flight.
100%.
That's what it's about. So you're probably coming down to that from that aspect. So I reckon coming back to positive and negative beliefs, you have to train yourself.
Yeah, on what to focus on.
Yeah, on what to focus on. And that's probably a great word. Like it's focus. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. What are you focusing on? Because if you're focusing on shit, if you're focusing on the negatives, if you're focusing on all the things that could go wrong or could kill you, that's what's going to happen. That's going to become your reality. Your focus becomes your reality.
Yeah, because when I can't remember where I learned this, but does that answer your question for a start?
Yeah, that answers the first section of it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's put up a second one. What do you think about people focusing on negative beliefs to achieve positive outcomes? Like, for example, in the goal setting podcast, we talked about focusing on your pay, and if it's not $1 million, then that's what you've cost yourself, and using that as a motivator to the positive outcome.
I am all for that, and I'll tell you why. Because pain will push people to do more than pleasure ever will. Do you know what I mean?
Doesn't necessarily make that a negative.
Well, it doesn't.
thing.
Yeah, because you're using pain to push yourself in a positive direction. Do you know what I mean? So the actual outcome isn't negative. Like the actual belief isn't negative. You're using a motivator. Yeah, something to drive you. PBD, choose your enemies wisely. You know what I mean? His new book that's coming out.
Yeah, can't wait.
Shout out to PBD.
See you soon.
Yeah. He doesn't use his drive, comes from people that have told him he can't. And he's doing amazing. He could never work another day in his life. And he wouldn't have to, and he's done amazing things already, and he'd be well known, and he could go live an easy life. But he doesn't. He's so driven. You've watched his podcast recently. He's so driven. And the guy's just sold out for like $300 million, and he does it because he's got some people that he wants to prove from. And he's like, even Dana White, tell me I can't do it.
Yeah.
Tell me I can't. Now sit down and watch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to fucking do this thing. Because using the pain point as something to drive you forward, I don't see that as a bad thing at all. Yeah?
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I don't see it as a bad thing at all.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I think if it propels you forward and it gets you to where you want to go, as long as you're not doing any harm from it, because pain can cause harm too. If you think the world is an evil place, you're using those beliefs, and then you go and do something horrendous, like that's not okay. But if you're doing it to push you towards what you want to achieve and you don't hurt anyone on the way, I think it's a great thing.
So how can you what advice would you give to someone? You go, look, I've got some negative beliefs. I want to get my life on track. I want to be someone that has a positive belief system. How would you get them to do that? Or what advice would you give them to do that?
Yeah, I think it comes down to self-awareness. Like, what are your beliefs? Why do you believe them?
So it's coming back to asking yourself those questions. You've got to sit down and ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Why do I believe these things? Because
once you actually start to dig a little bit and question why you believe what you believe. Because if it's genuine and you have a good reason to believe it and the outcome's positive, you'll continue to believe it. Whether you're right or wrong, you'll continue to believe it. But once you actually dig and you find out that this is not serving you, you understand that it makes no sense for me to believe. It's not even true half the time. You know, how many things do you worry about?
Heaps.
Sorry, not you.
No,
How many
absolutely.
things do people worry about that don't end up happening?
Probably more than, that was me. Sorry, I just kicked the table, everyone, for context. All good. Probably more, people would think about things more negative, as you said before, than what they would positive. They would be focusing on those. And even myself, I'm a positive type person, so are you. There are still things that I think about throughout my day, throughout my life that I am concerned about, but even though as much as I try to focus on the positive outcomes of it, I think it's, as I said, it's human nature. But it's also coming down to the questioning yourself and training yourself too. I think you need to actively practice that where your attention is being focused.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's this thing about what determines what we do. Yeah. And it's firstly what we focus on. Then when we focus on something, like we pay attention to something, we need to give it a meaning, right? It needs to mean something to us. So we focus on something, we give it a meaning, and then that meaning that we give it, therefore determines the action we take, whatever next steps we take. But here's the thing: you and I can look at the same thing, the exact same thing, and we can give it a different meaning. You know, have you heard the story about the two boys who grew up with the alcoholic, abusive dad?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to paraphrase, but two young boys grew up, I think they were twins or something, and they grew up with an alcoholic, abusive dad. And he ends up dying or something, and they get split, and one goes and lives on this side of the country and the other one goes and lives on that side. And then they go visit him later on in life, and one of them is exactly like his dad, alcoholic, abusive, drug addict, just going down a wrong path, bum. And then they go see the other one, and he's the CEO of like a Fortune 500 company. And he's got a family and kids, and he's like completely the opposite. And they asked him the question of, why do you think you are where you are in life today? And they both answered, with a dad like that, where do you think I was going to end up? Do you know what I mean? Because they both had the same situation and they gave it a different meaning. You know what I mean? Situation one, he said, if my dad's like that, I'm going to be like that. Situation two, if my dad's like that, I'm going to make sure I'm the complete opposite. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Such a cool story.
Yeah, how good is that?
Such a good story.
Yeah, it goes to show that you're not a victim of your circumstances.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Unless you believe to be, then you're fucked. But you're not.
So
you choose, like when we spoke about, you're talking about slavery in, like, as in people employed, not people employed.
Yeah.
It's modern day slavery. And I was like, no, you choose to be in this country. You can go live wherever you want. Like, everything is a choice, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you need to believe that, because if you don't, if you choose to believe otherwise, you're really giving up your responsibility, your accountability, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And you choose what you want to believe. I would rather believe something that is incorrect, that is positive, than something that is negative, that is correct, most of the time, unless I can directly impact the result.
Yeah. I like it.
You like it?
I like it a lot.
Yeah, you got to question your beliefs, man. You got to question what it's about.
It's not as difficult as it sounds, in the sense that once you know how to change it, or once you know how to address it. And that's what's great about this conversation. People listening today, I hope you guys get a bit out of this. I reckon this is one of our deepest conversations that we've had on this podcast.
Yeah, definitely.
That can genuinely help a lot of people listening to it, because, as you said, the vast majority of people out there would be having negative beliefs about something in their life that's affecting them in a negative way. Yeah. And if you can change your belief around that whole situation, it can completely change the trajectory of your life.
Or to go change your belief around negative beliefs.
Yeah.
And understand that some of your negative beliefs are okay. You know what I mean? Yes, okay. I do fear that I'm going to get hit by a car, because if you fucking get hit by a car, it's going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, have that belief. That's an okay belief to have. Don't be worried about it all the time. If you're constantly worried about it, you're probably going to manifest it.
Yeah.
But having some negative beliefs, it's okay. It means your brain's working in the way that it's meant to.
Yeah.
You just need to consciously control your focus, because if you always ridiculously happy and you're not aware of the things that can kill you,
that's right.
Probably not that smart.
You're probably going to get killed by something
like that. Yeah, you're probably not that bright. You know what I mean? You're probably lacking something in your brain. So understand that when you do have those negative beliefs, your brain's doing what it is designed to do, and that's keep you alive.
I reckon this is one of the most powerful conversations we've had so far on this podcast.
The power of belief is beyond anything, right? Like, and you control your beliefs. No one can put a gun to your head and make you believe something. They can make you pretend to believe it, but if you don't believe it, you don't believe it.
Yeah. Do you feel that, say, with young children, it's important as parents or as an adult or as a carer that you instill this in them, like this level of how to believe in certain things and the way to believe? Like, I think this is such a powerful thing because you said they're very impressionable from 5 to 10 or 4 to 10, and they're going to get their beliefs from somewhere. Now, if I walk around saying the world is fucked, don't go outside, you're going to get hit by a car, they're never going to go outside, and they're going to grow up believing if I go outside, I'm going to get hit by a car. So it's your opportunity, and not even that, it's your responsibility as a parent to really be guiding them in the right way of how they need to form their core beliefs as well.
Yeah, it's super important. But kids also, they do what you do,
Exactly.
not what you say half the time.
Exactly.
So you need to be, as a parent, you need to be setting the right, you need to be the right role model. You need to be setting the right example. Don't you think?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. They will watch you more than they'll listen to you. Without a doubt.
Yeah. If you eat bad foods, they'll grow up eating bad foods.
Couldn't agree more.
If you don't exercise, if you exercise as a parent, did your parents exercise? Are you growing up?
No, not really.
Yeah, me either.
Greek parents. I mean, I remember my parents were always working, cooking. Always had great food at home. We always had that very strong. They had that family bond. They always went out with friends, but never. My parents personally, they were never the type to actively work out.
But that's because they didn't have the belief that they need to. Whereas now we're more health conscious as a society.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
It wasn't a big thing then. Do you know what was a big thing then? You know what was the belief? So get this. What was a big belief passed on to the generation of our parents? That everything is in lack.
Yeah.
Like food. Do you get fed a lot? I get fed so much, man.
Yeah, as in when I'm going to
you go to your parents' house,
Oh, without a doubt.
There's food and food. You know what?
I wish I had fucking photos right now.
Because
I literally went to my parents' house. No, for fuck's sake. Me and Nicole we went to Chadstone, which is a shopping centre, one of the biggest one in Melbourne or Australia.
For all our fans in the Philippines.
For all the fans. Even interstate. We've got some interstate fans listening to this as well. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you very much. Top 60.
Top 60.
You should check the current rating. Surely we've gone up a couple of spots at least.
I don't even know how to check it.
Okay. Get your team onto it.
What is it? Charts?
I don't fucking know.
Chartable?
No idea, man. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Anyway, whilst Robby's doing that, I'll talk. So we went to Chadstone, and then I was speaking to my old man, and he's like, hey, do you want to go for we were just talking, and he goes, look, we're going to finish soon. Do you want to catch up for a coffee? And I'm like, yep, no worries. Him and my mum and me and Nicole went to a cafe in Oakley. We're sitting there, and my mum had this massive bag. I'm like, what's that? Like plastic bag. And it looked like I thought she just went shopping or something like that. She goes, oh, this is for you guys. I'm like, what's in it? And there was shepherd's pie, all in plastic containers. There was shepherd's pie, there was frozen soups, there was bread, there was biscuits. Like, we said, hey, let's catch up for a coffee, and they literally brought me a bag of food to take home so we could eat and the kids could eat.
So you went to a cafe?
We went to a cafe, and they brought my mum, not my dad. My dad was like, he'd be like saying, you've got rocks in your head. But my mum had a full bag, and we didn't even go to their house. It's even worse when we go to their house. Like, we'll go there for a weekend for lunch or, most time lunch. We always leave with more food than what we've consumed on the day. Always. Yeah, she'll cook excess. My mum purposely cooks in excess so we can take that food home and eat it.
Yeah, my mum does the exact same thing. I went to my mum's house the other day with my sister. Yeah. And we met them. We had like a family dinner. And then we're both leaving, with like a bag of food. And I just looked at my sister and I was like, you've been to mum's when you're leaving with like a bag of food.
Yeah,
like the whole meals for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
But I like to question why, because everything we do is based on our beliefs. So when even other people, because when you start to look at life like this, things become really fascinating. Yeah. And it's like, okay, cool. Why do they do that? Like, why do they, and they do it from a great place. It's like it's with the most loving intentions.
Yeah.
But why do they do it? Like, okay, cool, that's their intention, but why? And then you think, okay, cool. Well, who passed them their beliefs? Probably their parents, because they didn't get exposed to society as much as we do now, and as much as the kids today do. Okay, cool. Well, when did their parents grow up? Parents grew up during,
Wars.
early 1900s, during wars, where probably food was lack, and they didn't get to eat. Like now, realistically, most people living in this country can eat almost whatever they want, whenever they want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to say you're going to go have a $300 steak every day. But
food is so available for you.
Yeah, food is
at
so
any
available. You can get Uber Eats.
You'll literally get it on your
You
phone.
probably
now.
eat takeout at least once a week.
Yeah.
And we're so exposed to it. Whereas back then, I don't believe they were. So their way of showing care so much. And I could be wrong. Again, this is just what I've come to believe about their beliefs. That their way of showing care is we need to make sure everyone's well fed.
Also, on that same notion, it's do they ever throw food out?
No, not as much.
No, they're like, don't throw that out.
Yeah.
We can eat that.
This, we'll eat this today and tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
don't
you're
throw
like,
that out. There's people that don't have food and we're throwing out perfectly good food. Put it in the fridge. Take it with you. So they have that mentality too. Like
Do you say that to
my
your kids?
father-in-law, no, not really.
Have you ever said that? Like there's people who don't have food? Because I got told that.
Yeah. I reckon I have said it before. Yeah. I have said it because they'd be bitching and moaning about, them having veggies or some shit. Like, shut the fuck up and eat your veggies. Give them backhander. So
He doesn't.
He does it? Why?
You do?
I tell them to shut the fuck up and I give them backhander.
No comment.
No comment.
No comment.
See?
You don't.
I'm trying to get onto a current affair.
I don't.
I'm trying. I try my hardest.
Here's the guy who
try my
hates
hardest.
women drivers and bashes.
I hate women drivers and if I can give my kids backhanders
when they don't eat their veggies.
when they don't eat their veggies. No, in all seriousness. So, yeah, I probably have said that to them before.
Yeah.
I think that conversation would have come up. But that would have come from, like, my father-in-law. He has told us in the past that he was one of 6 siblings and there was times where he didn't eat dinner because there wasn't enough food. So he has that belief that we never throw out food. We eat everything.
Who, your father-in-law?
Yeah. So when he was back in Greece, he was one of 6 or however many it was, and they didn't throw out food because food was scarce, food was important. He only had, water and bread. That's what they had for dinner, if he was lucky. And there was days where he didn't eat because he was the eldest, so he gave it to his youngest kids, the siblings. Now he has that belief now that he hates throwing out food. He'll eat it. He'll overeat, not to throw the food out. Or he'll make us take it, or he'll do something like that. So that's definitely where a belief can be really ingrained into people, and it can be passed on to the kids for sure.
Yeah, 100%. You do. Where else would you get your beliefs from? Well, especially when you're younger.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up. My mum was a stay-at-home mum, so a lot of beliefs would have been passed on through that. Like I didn't have, now childcare and all that. Like.
But you see, I love that too. I reckon one of the best things we've ever done as a couple, as a family, was making sure that my wife stayed home as a stay-at-home mum.
Why?
Because she instills our belief onto the kids, not the daycare, not the schools, not grandparents, not babysitters, not carers. We do. We instill those beliefs. Because think about it. Think about what your kids are listening to and seeing in other places. Now, if you can control that, that's like, why so much, or people that homeschool are often, really well set up for life because they get these core beliefs set in them from a really young age. And
That's interesting. I never thought. Do you think people that are homeschooled are
I think to a degree, it depends. I think that it's definitely a way to control the narrative and what they're being taught and what they're being set and what they're being told. Because don't forget, schools have a set agenda, whether it's private, whether it's public, it's a set agenda. You need to teach this curriculum. This is what we as a society have decided is important for future generations to learn so they become contributing members of society. So they are set up with those beliefs from day one through the schools. The teachers may or may not agree with that, but they've got to do it. That's their job. They are employed by the school to do that role.
So it's the equivalent with anything, though, isn't it?
With
like
what?
It's the equivalent with doctors. Doctors prescribe you.
Absolutely.
Pharmaceutical
Absolutely. So this
medication.
comes down to that doctor who's one of the smartest people in the world. He's in the top 20 smartest people in the world, doesn't give conventional medicine. And he helped people like that person I was talking about the other day. Was that today? That was this episode, wasn't it? Yeah. Far out. Like just everything's blended in one. But he helped that person through that scenario. Now, he's done it in the past with other people and hasn't had that same success. But he's had to go against conventional ways of thinking because his beliefs have shown him X, Y, Z. Other people are shown, like the doctors, traditional medicine. Hey, you're sick? Cool, take Parental. You got a headache? Here you go.
Because that's what they're taught, though. They
That's
genuinely,
That's right.
genuinely believe
it.
that what they're doing is right.
Absolutely. And that's what's been instilled on them. So that same thing with homeschooling or being a stay-at-home mum. I still think it's one of the most advantageous things we've done to our family to have my wife home raising our kids the way they need to be raised. From those early ages of, 1 to 5 and now even in school. Like both my kids are in school now. My wife could go get a job. No, you don't have to get a job. If you want to, if you find something that you're passionate about and you want to do, by all means, go get a job. But if you don't, I'll take care of us. I'll provide the money. I'm the man of the house. I will provide. I will love. I will do everything I need to do to make sure that your life is right. All you have to do is look after the kids, give them the best life, take care of the home in the sense of not just cleaning it. I'm saying from the perspective of running the house. That's almost a job in itself. Making sure there's always food there, making sure that we have, I don't like personally coming home and she knows I hate this question. What do you want to eat? I hate that question with a passion. And it's not misogynist. It's me purely just going, that's not my focus. My focus is on work. And my focus is doing the utmost here to give you the best life possible. And in order for me to give you the best life possible, I can't be thinking about those things. If I have to think about them, I'm not saying I ever do, and I'd be offended if I had to, but if I needed to think about dinner tonight, that's cool. Just tell me, hey, George, Friday, you need to sort out dinner. No sweat. Because then I can put it in my schedule of things that I need to do. And I'll sort out dinner. I'll either come home a half hour early or an hour early, cook dinner, or I'll get takeout, get everyone sorted, get the kids sorted. She might be going out with friends. She might have whatever else is going on. I can then take that on. But if I have to do everything I have to do, then last minute sort out dinner, it throws my day out a little bit. So I'm really glad that I'm in a position where I can help her do that. And I know a lot of people are not, that they need both people working in the family. However, if you can do that and if you're in a position to do that, I think it's really important. And I reckon you and your family would benefit from it greatly.
Yeah, I think it'll have a massive impact on your kids.
Yeah, that's another thing too, because they'll see that. They will see that and go, well, mum stayed home all the time and looked after us. Dad was working and was looking after us. Absolutely, it would. And even now, her friends give her shit. Oh, fucking good life you have. You fucking know that she has a good life. Why wouldn't she? Why shouldn't she?
Must be nice.
It must be nice. But why wouldn't she? Why shouldn't she go out and play tennis during the week? What, she's going to sit at home and be depressed and look at TV just because she's not working? No, go out, be active. Go do whatever makes you happy. I told you, I got you. I'll look after you. I'll look after the family.
That's your ability to believe you can, though, right?
That's right. And unwavering belief. Yeah. And this is what I mean. Even during those tough times, during the COVID years, I had that unwavering belief that I was going to get through this. And I did. And I'm still, even on difficult times, I'm going to get through this. I'm above ground.
You know what I think is really important as well? To always check in with your beliefs. Just because something is right for you now or is true to you now.
Yeah.
At one point,
yeah,
it was the best way to fix people, giving them medicine for the doctors.
Yeah.
At one point, that was true. That was the best. We didn't know anything else. That was all they knew. That was as far as medical science had come at that point in time. That was the best remedy. And now it's been proven otherwise.
Yeah.
But you need to check your beliefs.
Things will happen to you throughout your life as well that will force you to check it.
Yeah, but...
especially if you don't check it regularly, you will eventually be forced to check it.
Yeah, just kind of question things every now and again. Is this serving me?
What do you think about checking your beliefs with someone? Say your significant other.
Yeah.
I think it's advantageous.
Yeah.
Especially as a partnership, in a marriage or whatever. So I think that'll be really important where you could sit down with your significant other and check in on your beliefs. Because if you clash beliefs as well, that can be detrimental.
Yeah, because then imagine the kids are like, oh, but mum says this. And you're like, talking about mum.
Yeah, that's it.
She's tripping.
That's it.
Believe this.
She can't drive.
Trust me.
Can't drive.
You're
going to take advice from someone that can't drive?
The wheels on the car? Nicole's going to bash us both.
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead. Do you know what the best thing about this is? I know she's not going to listen to it, so I can just go to town.
Yeah. And just go and just start.
And then until one of her friends listens to it, she goes, you hear what George said about you the other day?
At least we got an extra view.
Yeah, that's it.
Be worth it. People sending people the podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, checking in on your beliefs. Yeah, that's really important though. Good thing that you brought that up. Because imagine you didn't share what you truly believe with your partner.
It's something funny enough that we have just implemented. And as much as I say that, it's literally happened within the last week.
Yeah.
So I focus so much on improving myself, my business, my life, everything. And now it's that time where we check in with ourselves and go, okay, cool, we need to start focusing on us, me and my wife. And go, let's set up a 60-minute, 90-minute catch up every week where we just talk everything that's financial, physical, spiritual, mental, checking in. And that's a good time to check in with your beliefs, having that system, having that time together where it's not about, hey, let's go through X, Y, Z to get to sleep tonight. It's having that check-in.
That's really cool.
I think it's awesome. Look, I'm pumped about it. We've done it once already. And now I want to keep doing it every single time. And I think that'll lead to us having an exceptional relationship, not just the mediocre one.
There is a guy named Dr. Fred Gross who wrote a book called The Black Belt of the Mind. And his thing was...
Cool title.
Yeah, he's a psychologist, coach, bunch of stuff. He's like 90.
Yeah.
And his thing was every day needs to be a 10. Every day needs to be a 10. He goes, and part of his day being a 10 is he'd check in with his wife and he'd say, where are we today? And if she says 8, and he says, okay, 8, well, what do we need to do to get up to a 10? You know, do we need to go to dinner? Do we need to have a glass of wine? What do we need to do? Do we need to catch up? Do we need to sit down and watch a movie? Do we need to go on a date? Like, what do we need to do? What do you need from me to get this day to a 10 for us? And he'd check in with himself as well. And how do I get this day to a 10? You know what I mean? If my day's a 7 now, okay, well, what else could I do? And he'd make you do, you know, we talked about the list of rewards in the last episode. He'd make you do the same thing to make sure you could go back and throw some stuff in that would bring your day up to a 10.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Well, I know what's made my day a 10 today.
What?
It's this fucking podcast.
This was a good episode. I think it's very providing value to the listeners. And you know, if you did take something from some of the things that we've shared today, share it with someone. Share it with someone that you believe, talking about beliefs, that you believe could get some benefit from this. You know, if you took anything, if you saw any value in there, if you know someone that doesn't have great beliefs that needed to hear that.
If you know any women drivers.
If you know any...
that needs some help.
If you know any women drivers. I'm not going to touch that. Yeah, do you want to say your final spiel? And what's
No.
No?
Not really.
What is it? No, leave us with... What's the...
We just want to, as always, it's about us providing exceptional value. And if we've
I
done
think
that
that
for
was
you today,
exceptional value.
I think so too. I reckon that's one of my favourite episodes. If we've done that today, love a follow. Just click that little button in the top right-hand corner and give us a follow because it helps us continue what we're doing.
Yes.
It helps us reach more people and it helps us create change. It helps us motivate and inspire. And if I can do that, if Robby can do that, it's all we need. You know, we put up that post the other day that I was saying, when you're creating content, when you're creating social media, it doesn't need to be about reaching the masses and getting 1,000 likes. It's not about that at all. But it is about affecting change in that one person. If you go out there with the intention of trying to create that change with that one person, you've already won. You've already won. Do you know what, man? Just this conversation has created change in me.
Yeah,
and that is enough.
Yeah, because it made you question some things that you haven't really...
spoken about in ages.
Yeah. That's what I was saying to you. Like, I can't remember when I was saying it, but I love this because you're talking your thoughts.
Yeah.
You're speaking your thoughts.
Yeah.
And it allows you to put everything out there, and then you're like, oh, you know what? That really doesn't matter. I don't want that belief anymore.
That's it.
Yeah? Super cool.
Awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Tune in next time. It is going to be
Tantalizing.
a 10.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
See ya.